Hey YouTube, Halfeb here. Going to do a little bit of film review about a short little film that I just checked out. It's a Marvel fanfic by Beansy Eye Productions on YouTube. It's called Deadpool, A Typical Tuesday. Now, I gotta say, there was a lot that was right with this film, but at the same time, there was a lot that was wrong with this short film. Now, a lot of the things that were wrong were due to budget constraints. Being a filmmaker, I can understand that. But at the same time, there were some people who just weren't doing their jobs properly, and we're going to go into that. Now, of course, this is meant by, when I do this, meant nothing but constructive criticism. Take a leave of this as you will, be in DI. Anyway, let's get on with the review. First of all, let's sort of talk about the acting. I gave the acting an 8 out of 10. It was passable. I did like Deadpool. He was believable as Deadpool. I'm a fan of, the old Deadpool ways. So the way he acted, he was very comical, jumping around a lot, and even when he was acting hardcore, he was still funny in Deadpool. So the only reason I give it an 8 is the girl you had playing Domino. I don't know. It didn't seem to pass off as Domino. Maybe she was too quiet, or she just didn't look the part. I don't know. But I think it may have also been makeup department because of that, because I always remember Domino as being very pale, almost blue. And maybe that's what really set it off as not being like Domino for me. But otherwise, guys, I'll give it straight out, 8 out of 10. You guys on writing? 10 out of 10, guys. You had Deadpool down to a T. It was with the comment boxes and all the other stuff. Yeah, you guys, 10 out of 10. You know your stuff. You really do. Directing? 7 out of 10. I'll give you props, man. You did do some gutsy choices. You had some beautiful, work that you wanted to do, some good choices. There were also some very cheesy choices. I know that does go along with Deadpool, but some were taken a bit to the extreme. And that's your choice, man. That's cool. That's the way you want to go with it. Wasn't really for me. 7 out of 10. Cinematography. DOP, man, there were a couple of times there where I really noticed your work, and not in a good way. I'm giving you a 5 out of 10. It was passable, but it was okay. But just watch some of your camera movements. You were a bit shaky in places. There was also a director's decision there for a second, I think, where you had Deadpool looking over and he was talking to the speech bubble, the thought bubble. Look, it just didn't really work. Director and DOP between you, that's the only bad thing I've got to say. The rest of it, really good. Editing and special effects. And I'm also going to say this to producers, the director, you can't fix it in post. Not all the time. Sometimes you got to have blanks. And this is also for the person in art department. Sometimes you got to have, just firing blanks. It makes all the difference. Really it does. I know it's a little bit hazardous. You have to, go out there. It's a budgetary constraint. But it does make all the difference. Really. Absolutely. And little blasting caps to make those gunshot bullets more real. Worth every cent. But otherwise, the editing team, with maybe one or two swipe cuts, which would have obviously been the director's initiative, I didn't recognize your work at all, so you were doing spot on. You're not meant to recognize the director, not the director, the editor, so you were doing the perfect job. I didn't notice most of the cuts because they were so seamless. So, 8 out of 10, guys. Sound department. Come here. Get your act together, sound department. I'm going to give you a 2 out of 10. Really low score. Deadpool you know, in the beginning, I could hardly understand what he was, you know, saying. But I'll give you some props. You did actually capture through all his muffledness that, you know, that so we could understand him. But otherwise, guys, your sound design was awful. I could hardly understand some of the words that were talking, you know, talking word, chatting, dialogue. I do know what I'm talking about, I swear. But the gunshots didn't sound like gunshots. They sounded like little pops in a pre-recorded room. You gotta have that resonance. You gotta have that. When Deadpool fell over, there was no thud. There was no dramaticness. It was all being let down because of sound design. So guys, just, you know, it's a continuously evolving and learning process. Let this be a learning process, guys, of how not to do good sound design. So really pump it up next time. Alright, you can go back. That's okay. So 2 out of 10 for sound. Art department. Good work on the guns, guys. Guns, swords, brilliant stuff. And by the way, making Deadpool look the way you did, like he's from the comics, you guys were right on there. Maybe his eyes weren't 100% on. Some different contacts would have done that. Something that, like, the cloudy ones that make the whole eye look white, not just the round bit with the pupil showing, because that was very noticeable. But I have marked you down because you didn't get the blasting caps. I mean, it is your department, guys. You need to be able to be the ones who can get the blanks, the blasting caps, blood packs. It was very obvious that, you know, the blood was done in post-production, you know, because the part where he shoots the other mercenary, he doesn't get spattered with blood, even though there's blood flowing past him. And it really does take you out of it. But otherwise, guys, you did a really good job. The place looked right. I love the thought bubbles, love the weapons. So I'm giving you a good 6 out of 10. And just the producer. Look, man, I'm going to give you a 3. Purely because you should have been on to sound, you should have been on about the blasting caps, you should have been on, I mean, you're probably being very, very helpful to your team. Yeah, they're being very supportive and, you know, good job what you did. But you also need to be on there about what they aren't doing. So, I'll give you a 3 out of 10. So altogether, out of 80, that's going to be a 49. Which is possible, but, you know, anyway, so, just, in the future, you know, just watch your sound, get real blasting caps. It's not that much more, but it does make it all in the end. So 49 out of 80. I'd say go watch it for the writing, the acting. It is good stuff, guys. Go out. I'll put a link in the description below, down there somewhere. So you can go check it out. Deadpool, a typical Tuesday. Yeah, go check it out.